Good morning from Raleigh, North Carolina, everybody. It is time for another edition of the Goldie on Ice podcast. 9 down, 7 to go. Unbelievable what the Florida Panthers are doing and what they did here in Raleigh in game number 1. These Eastern Conference Finals, they've now played 11 games, the Panthers, over the last 3 years. They are 9-2, and they have not lost a game in regulation. Remarkable. And they've only lost one game on the road, and that was last year, Game 2 against the Rangers, 2-1 in overtime. Stakes get higher, and, well, this team just seems to get better. So it is thoroughly impressive what the Panthers are doing. They're getting contributions from everybody. The defense jumping up. I don't even call them, it's hard to even call them the fourth line with Tomas Nosek and A.J. Greer and Jonah Gadjevich right now, because they have been, just about as good as anybody. And they've been contributing offensively, doing the job defensively, physical. And when it all, goes the other way, which, of course, over the course of a game it does, Sergei Bobrovsky is just at an elite level right now. The Panthers system, it's aggressive, and the defense is up in the play. And they're not going to change that. What it does, though, is it does give opportunities at times for chances the other way. And they do give up breakaways, and they try to limit the odd man rushes. But, these elite teams that they've been playing with these offensive talented players, and maybe a little cheating on the opponent's parts at times, blowing the zone offensively, they're going to get in behind you, and they're going to get some opportunities. And Sergei Bobrovsky has just been magnificent at these breakaways. And you're talking about, some high-end talent. I mean, you go back to Tampa, I think Braden Point had one. I'm not sure if Kucherov did, but I'm sure Point had one. Against Toronto, you had, Nylander get at least one. Some point blank, not on breakaways, not off the rush, but against Matthews, Sebastian Aho in game number 1. So this Panther team right now, they've been building it all season long. They seem to be building it in the playoffs, getting better and better as time goes on, and getting more and more contributions. So now it's a great opportunity. I figured after the Game 7 win in Toronto, it was good for the Panthers to get right back to it, stay in the flow, stay in the hockey mode. They're a great road team. Part of it is what Bill Zito has done with the type of people they bring in. I know every team says this. You hear it all the time. Guys like each other. This team genuinely likes spending time together. And I think that's part of their road success. So they go right from Toronto, the next day, fly to Carolina. They do a great job at recovery. Everybody was on the ice yesterday except for a handful of guys that took the morning off. And then you just go play the game. And it seems kind of normal. Where Carolina, I think, to a certain extent, had all these days to sit here and think about it, and they're home, and you got tickets and things like that. And then the Hurricanes in Game 1 came out in the first period. I thought overzealous. That's my opinion. They tried to kind of almost out-Panther the Panthers in some ways with, the hits. And I thought it was way overboard. And I was watching that first period, regardless of the score. Certainly the Panthers cashing in on those chances and getting the power play goal. Great shot by Verhaeghe, the setup by Barkov and Kachuk. So you're watching and you're seeing the score. But the score aside, I was thinking to myself, Carolina can't do this 4 times out of 7. Heck, they can't even do it for a full game. I mean, nobody can. And that's why you see the Panthers, they pick their spots when they need to play that way. So it was an interesting first period to me. I thought the Hurricanes, put themselves out of position a couple of times, going for some hits. But the Panthers really did a great job at cashing in their opportunities. And at the end of the day, that's what a lot of it's about. You get those few opportunities. I believe the high danger chances in the game were actually 7-5, high danger shots on goal. So there's a scoring chance, right, that maybe the puck, for whatever reason, doesn't go on net and the goalie doesn't have to make the save. And then there's the shots on goal. So the high danger shots on goal were 7-5 in favor of Carolina. The Panthers scored on 3 of theirs. So 3 out of 5 against Freddie Anderson. And Carolina scored on 2 of their 7. Those were their 2 goals. Obviously the last one was kind of meaningless. And That first one, personally, I thought it was a kick, but in general, the NHL, unless it's a flat out full kick, and I guess it was weird because Aho's back was to the net, so tough call. It was ruled a goal on the ice, which is understandable, to be honest with you, but I guess not enough to overturn it. And, they don't want to sit there and have a 10-minute replay. If it's obvious that the call was wrong, overturn it. If not, move on. Luckily, it didn't really matter in the game. You thought it would give Carolina maybe a little bit of hope, but the Panthers quickly squashed that by getting that third goal. And Nico Mikkola, if he didn't have his Panther 77 Mikkola jersey on, you would have thought on that play that was Cale Makar or Roman Josi or any of those guys, or Victor Hedman. That was an amazing play by Mikkola. Watching it back, he actually banged his stick on the ice to Nosek, saying, give it to me, and right on the tape for A.J. Greer. And I thought when they got that third one, that really put it away. So the Panthers continue to roll. Since Game 2 against Toronto, they've won 5 out of 6 games, with the only loss being Game 6 at home against Toronto. On the road, they're doing things historically that have not been done. They've outscored the opponent incredibly in the last 3 road games and big games, Games 5 and 7 in Toronto, Game 1 here in Carolina, 17-4. The plus 13 is the biggest differential over a 3-game stretch in the playoffs since the late 80s, and one of the highest in NHL history. So great opportunity tomorrow. Carolina's going to be desperate. They should be, because they go down 0-2. Anybody goes down 0-2 to this team, going to be really tough to win 4 out of 5 against the Florida Panthers, the way they're built, the way they're put together, and the way they're playing right now, really clicking on all cylinders. So Game 2 is tomorrow here in Raleigh. A reminder, you can watch us on Scripps Sports 30 minutes before every game. We've got a full pregame show for you. So that's 7:30. 7:30, because every game starts at 8 the rest of this series. So 7:30, WSFL, Channel 39, Channel 9, South Florida's 9, in Palm Beach County, WHDT, and over on the West Coast, Southwest Florida, Fort Myers area, on Laugh TV. That's 30 minutes before every game. And by the way, people have asked, and I got the Let's Go Home Baby, some stuff going on. All the money goes to charity, goes to Goldie's gang. So if you're interested, it's letsgohomebaby.shop online, and you can grab yourself some gear. Thanks as always for listening to the Goldie on Ice podcast. We will talk to you soon.